Hi guys, it's Rebecca from Nizra, and today we are going to be making a mason jar Rudolph. If you're joining us for virtual winter break, you will have all the materials in your bag. If you're joining us for fun, you will need a baby food jar or a mason jar, some glue, brown acrylic paint, a red pom-pom, some Google eyes, brown pipe cleaners, and some wax paper. The first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take my baby food jar or my mason jar, make sure it's clean. I'm going to take the lid off of it, and I am going to take a little bit of brown acrylic paint, and I am just going to squirt that right into the jar or dump it into the jar. The next thing I'm going to do is I am just going to move my jar around, kind of smearing that paint everywhere to kind of coat the inside. If needed, you can put your lid back on and you can kind of shake it and just get that paint everywhere. Depending on how much paint you put in, you might need to put in more. It doesn't look like mine's moving very quickly, so I am going to add a little bit. So I did add more paint to my jar, and I did put my lid back on so that way I can kind of tap it and get the paint moving around the jar. So I'm just going to keep going, around the sides, kind of tapping my jar, getting that paint to move around until all four of my sides are coated. As you can see, the entire inside of my jar has been coated with brown acrylic paint. There is some excess paint in my lid, and I can see that there is a little bit of wet paint inside. That is okay. For now, I'm going to keep my lid on just so I don't get the excess paint on my hands while we do the next steps. Next thing that I am going to do is I'm going to take my two brown pipe cleaners and I'm going to connect them together in the middle here to make one big pipe cleaner. See that? Once I have it connected, I am going to wrap it around below where the threads are for the lid, together there in the middle, and then I'm going to twist them together so that they're connected and on the jar. These are going to be our antlers for our mason jar. I'm going to leave them for where they are right now, and then this is going to be the front. So opposite where I have them tied together, I am going to use a little bit of glue, and I am going to glue on my nose and my Google eyes to my jar. Almost dropped my glue. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on my pom-pom, and I'm going to go ahead and stick it towards the bottom of my jar. Just hold it on there for a few seconds, make sure it's on, and then I'm going to do the same for my Google eyes. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to them and glue them above the nose, closer to the top. All right, as you can see, I have both the eyes on there and the nose. So you're going to want to set that aside to dry. The best way to let the remaining paint from the inside dry is to take your lid off, and you're going to set it on your piece of wax paper upside down, so that way all the paint will come out. While it's dripping, it'll drip onto the wax paper, so make sure to put this maybe on another protective surface, and then the wax paper will help it prevent from sticking to the lid of your jar. If you want, you can go ahead and pre-fold your antlers now, or you can wait until it's dry. You're just going to go ahead and bend the pipe cleaners into different shapes to go ahead and make them look like antlers. So again, you can do this any way you want. You can leave them sticking straight up. You can bend them. They don't have to match. And there you have it, a Rudolph mason jar.